Minecraft has been around now for about 13 years, and it just received its latest annual big update, the Trails and Tales update. It's the most sold game in the world, with people of all ages playing it, with references in media, products galore in every store ranging from the usual plushies and clothing to the official Minecraft hamper, and collaborations with other brands. Burberry collab? What? The game is everywhere and being enjoyed by so many people worldwide. You can basically ask anyone at this point if they know what Minecraft is, and I'm sure you'd struggle to find someone who doesn't know what it is. It's loved by so many people globally, where many have had Minecraft have a significant impact on their lives and have had their careers exist just because of this game. There's now becoming a generation of adults where their childhoods, such as my own, have had Minecraft be a large portion of what they spent their time doing when not in school. And with Minecraft being out for so long, there's been so many memories and fun had with it, spanning now multiple generations, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. The game itself has gone through many eras and phases as well, with the content and the creators changing every few years as trends change. Right now, it's the most popular it's ever been. The game hit over 1 trillion views a couple years ago on YouTube, and just looking at the top trends and views, you can see that people are viewing Minecraft content more than ever before, and I know people now from all ages playing the game. But it's all very different from what I remember Minecraft being when I grew up. I don't really play the game much as immensely as I did in my young teen days, and I for sure don't watch Minecraft videos anymore since I look at the content creators who are big now and yeah, I know, their content is clearly aimed at a younger audience than myself, but it's just so much more formulaic, I guess? They all seem pretty similar in how they act, and their editing also seems very samey between them all, but maybe I'm just being biased and have my rose-tinted glasses on. You see, it's not just the content that feels different about Minecraft, it's everything. The game is just so much more different than those first few years when I started playing, which I mean makes sense considering it's been receiving updates for many years, but what I mean is that even after continuously playing every year since I first found it, the overall atmosphere feels way more different than what I remember it being when I was a kid. It got me thinking about how Minecraft was more than a decade ago when I first discovered it, so I decided to look back at it all, to have a trip down memory lane and see what made Minecraft when we were kids so nostalgic. Was it because I was just a kid and life was more simple, or was there really something different about Minecraft back then? Just as a heads up before I begin though, this is going to be a nostalgic trip back to look at a lot of the experiences I personally had with the game from when I first found Minecraft to now, and so that means this can very much differ on how you might remember Minecraft and when you started playing the game. But even if we didn't start playing the game around the same time and some of the things I mentioned don't apply to you, I'm sure you'll find some of the stuff I talk about to be nostalgic if it's been some years now since you first started playing Minecraft, because I've been playing this game since 2010. So I'm going to begin then, all the way back to 2010 when I first found the game. I was just spending my time during my summer break watching YouTube videos on my uncle's computer as he lived with my family at the time, and while I was just looking through random videos, I saw one that stuck out of a blocky little game which ended up being Minecraft. Unfortunately, since it's been almost 13 years, I don't really remember the specific videos, so I'm going to show some good old CNNers gameplay, but I do remember they were just digging through the sand and into the stone. From there, I began searching for more videos about the game, and I was instantly hooked since my childhood creativity had just found a new way to express myself and make anything I wanted. It was like virtual Legos, and that alone was massive for 10-year-old me. Now, my parents at the time were the type who didn't really trust putting their credit card online to buy anything, so trying to convince them to buy me the game was pretty unsuccessful, until my uncle went and sailed the seas to get me the game. I still remember the first time I played the game. It was very brief since my uncle was a big gamer himself and wanted to use his computer, but it was survival on one of the earliest alpha builds. Again, I can't really recall which specific build version it was because 13 years makes you forget some specifics, so I'll be using an alpha build that was out around that time, but I do remember how I came out of my hidey hole to see the night ended and I punched a cow to death only for it to drop a piece of leather, but at the time my uncle and I thought it was an udder and laughed about it. He called me a murderer. Just playing the game for that short moment made me instantly fall in love with it. The fear of mobs and how they take over the surface at night thrilled child me at the time since you had to quickly hide from them as they were actually a deadly threat, and the creative freedom to do what I wanted had me hooked. Even though I didn't have constant access to a computer at the time, any opportunity I had, I'd jump to consume any form of content from the game. If I had computer time at school, it was time to play some classic Minecraft, and oh boy was classic fun. Now classic was on the old Minecraft.net website and it was free, which meant Kid Me had access to it anywhere there was a computer. It was very different from survival as it was an older build of Minecraft that was like a primitive version of creative where you only had a small selection of blocks to place and there wasn't any flying, but I used to love just playing lava survival where you try and survive the world flooding with lava and just going on those freefall servers to mess around. The old flailing Steves were also just so funny to watch, their movement was just so goofy. I mainly played Classic for the next year because even though my parents would get a home computer by the end of 2010, I didn't really know how to pirate a video game, and my parents weren't going to allow any of that happening on their computer anyways, and my uncle only let me use his computer sparingly to play the survival version of the game. But during the next year, I'd go and discover many YouTubers, the classic Minecraft YouTubers. SlyFoxHound was one of the first I began watching regularly, where I found him through his My House is on Fire video, and I used to love his Homies Power Level Friday videos. I watched every single one that came out. I watched Piehead and his Minecraft movies, which were first of their kind at the time, and just hour-long Minecraft videos to binge were awesome. Captain Sparkles was making videos primarily focused on multiplayer survival since it was new at the time, and it was interesting to see people playing the game together and what they do. Uberhaxer Nova's raw humor was just great and so goofy to watch, and he was one of the first Minecraft YouTubers that did collabs with other Minecraft YouTubers regularly, like Spoon, Kutra, Slyfox, and Seamus. CNanners, you can't forget him. He was probably the biggest at the time, and I used to watch every new upload he did. Ethos, I know I said I don't watch Minecraft videos anymore, but he's actually like the only one I still watch randomly. He was really shy in his first videos, but they were more technical than the others, so it was interesting to learn what contraptions you can make in the game. There were others too that I didn't really watch much but knew about and would rise in popularities with the others mentioned as 2011 approached and went through, like I Has Cupquake, The Yogscast, Ant Venom, Paulsaurus Jr., Chimney Swift, Sky Does Minecraft, and a bunch of others that I'm probably forgetting. You see, they all had one thing in common, and that's just how raw and genuine they all were. There was hardly any editing, if any at all, no scripts that were being read off of, no one was trying to play it up for the video or have a persona. It was just a bunch of people who decided to start recording their gameplay and talk while gaming. And talking about the gameplay, Minecraft was just so simple back then. You had no hunger at the time, you just right-clicked the food item and got your hearts back. You couldn't run, there was no enchanting, no villagers, or really any generated structures other than mob spawners and barely any biomes. It was as bare bones as it got, but it was just so fun. It felt like this version of the game lasted for such a long time, but updates were like every month with new things that I'm sure people who didn't play the game back then have thought were in Minecraft since the beginning were being added, like the nether, fishing, even the desert biome. Then beta came right at the end of 2010 and so much began to be added in that you can't imagine Minecraft being without today, like the iconic cake, dyes and different colored wool to add some new color to builds, squid which didn't even have any sounds back then. I still think the sounds they have now are kinda weird. Ugh. The birch and spruce tree which used to only drop oak saplings, beds which only came in red, smooth lighting as the lighting before was more blocky and abrupt, cookies which you could only make if you found a mob spawner to get cocoa beans, wolves which were the first pet, weather being added so you turned on the volume because of how loud rain was. Why is it so loud? And so much more, which all led up to the biggest update that would drastically change the game. 1.8, the Adventure Update. Before I get into that update though, one thing that Minecraft had back then that is iconic to the alpha and beta were the different sounds for a lot of things. Oh, the old sounds are just so damn good. The old grass sound, so crunchy. The old door sound, that hard thumpy badunk is music to my ears. You didn't hear the snippy little sound when you took damage. No. Steve had his old oof sound. Explosions had such a cartoony style sound to them where it was like... Bows were so springy where it sounded like the string was wobbling like crazy or something, and you used to just be able to spam right click to shoot them. Water really sounded like things were getting dunked into it. You heard that sploosh sound, and if you jumped from a tall height, it was all like... Hearing all of those old sounds just bring back memories. But back to the Adventure Update. It was the biggest update coming to Minecraft, and it was so hyped up that a trailer was even made for it showcasing what was coming, and the iconic Enderman was about to be added where they showed them to be like a scary new mob, and Minecraft was just exploding in popularity. Now earlier in the year, my uncle would move out, and with me being so obsessed with the game, I decided to just figure out on my own how to pirate the survival version of the game and risk getting a virus on my computer. Luckily, my parents never questioned anything since they were already used to seeing me playing the classic version and probably just assume I was playing that still. With proper access to the survival version, I spent that summer of 2011 just playing and watching Minecraft every second I could, and with the Adventure Update coming, my love and obsession for the game was only going to increase. The update comes out and drastically changes the game to look more like how it still does now. Hunger is added, you can now sprint, new world generation is added with ravines, villages and strongholds now being a part of the game, and biomes being completely overhauled so proper oceans exist now and biomes are larger with rivers going through them. Crits are added, bows now have their pullback animation so you can't just spam arrows, experience drops now from mobs and you can gain levels, status effects, creative mode so you can just focus on building, the chests get their own animation for closing and opening, and the menu that everyone knows is added. It was the biggest update to have ever been released for Minecraft at the time, and surprisingly, it had mixed reactions initially. A lot of people were iffy about hunger, as now your health took a while to come back instead of instantly like before. Sprinting had people feeling like the game was much easier now, as you could outrun mobs and explore more quickly. Ores and mineshafts were too common, and with mineshafts having chests with loot meant getting everything you needed was just much easier now. This criticism went away quickly though, as people adjusted to the changes, and only a few months later with 1.0, the full release of the game comes out and we saw the end, enchanting, and potions now be a staple to the game. Not only was the game changing, but the content being made was changing as well, where now it wasn't just let's plays and tutorials now, but actual stories were being told through new Minecraft series such as the Yogscast Shadow of Israfel, and parodies were beginning to emerge like Captain Sparkles and his music parodies. Oh man. And skits were being made like Nova's Wool video.
You broke the rules!
With the game officially out now, 2012 comes in, and the next couple years for sure are what I would consider the peak of Minecraft. I was so obsessed with Minecraft that I even called my Roblox account Giant Minecraft Maniac because I for sure was a maniac for this game. The Hunger Games comes out, and with it, the birth of survival games, with the first event organized by iHas Cupquake, where many big YouTubers at the time would collaborate with one another, being a first of its kind. Skyblock explodes in popularity, and everyone who made Minecraft content had a Skyblock series, and you better believe Kid Me was watching all of them. Generic B begins Hermitcraft as one of the most popular SMPs to exist to this day, all starting back to this video. Skydoes Minecraft began to blow up with his mod showcases, and I know I haven't mentioned mods up until now, but I was definitely using mods even before 2012. There were some pretty iconic mods back then. We had the Aether, where one video was able to trick so many people into thinking it was part of vanilla Minecraft. Twilight Forest was another one, which is still popular to this day and included in many mod packs. While Twilight Forest is still remembered today, Tropicraft used to be just as big as the Twilight Forest back then, and I loved that mod. The Herobrine mod. I remember being a kid and thinking he actually was in the game, and there was this video that had every kid just fearing him popping up in their worlds. The update notes always saying Herobrine was removed just kept Kid Me thinking he actually was real. Mo Creatures was one of those mods I always used when playing, and it's actually technically where horses originated from, as the mod developer helped in adding horses officially to the game. I loved mods, and even now if I start a new Minecraft world, I'm using at least a world map and minimap mod. But you know what I would love even more as a kid? Minecraft on the Xbox 360. Even though I was using a cracked version of Minecraft at the time, there were still cracked servers which allowed you to play multiplayer, and I used to play factions a lot as a kid, but none of my friends were really playing Minecraft on PC. It was at most a Pocket Edition, and I didn't have my own phone or device to play it on, so I just stuck with playing mostly on my own. But the Xbox 360 release finally let me play with friends and family. Even though it was an older version of Minecraft than on PC and it didn't have infinite worlds, I played the hell out of this version. I had this thing in the summer of 2013 where I had a community server that I'd get on daily, and there'd be people waiting for me to get on so I could invite them, and I had a first come first serve rule since you could only have 8 people on a world at a time. I'd show footage of my old worlds, but that Xbox is far gone now, and it's now just memories. Hey, I can't forget the tutorial world. The big Minecraft logo hovering over it was just so cool to see, and just going through it to find all of the Easter eggs was so much fun. The next couple years would just be absolute fun. I was finally playing with friends, and there was such a big variety of content to watch, ranging from minigames like Cops and Robbers, to mod showcases like the Elemental Creepers and Mutant Creatures mods, music like Take Back the Night in Minecraft style, trolling and griefing videos, those were huge back then, group content like Team Crafton, and animations like Slamacows. Damn, was Slamacow a titan back then. Did you know he made the Fallen Kingdom video? You know, talking about him, I wonder what he's been up to. Oh, only one upload in the past 6 years? What about the other channels? Oh, they're all basically barren at this point. Shells of what they used to be. As 2014 rolled in, a lot of changes began happening in my life, and I began to grow up more. I was a teenager now. My family and I moved into a new house, and I had more space for myself. High school was starting soon, and even though I was playing Minecraft still, I'd stopped watching a lot of the content that was out there. The last Minecraft YouTubers I watched for a bit were Popular MMOs, Stampy Longhead, and Dan TDM, but this was brief as their content was more suited for like 10-year-old me, and I wanted to be more mature as I was now a high schooler after the summer ended. Not only that, but right at the start of 2015, I built my first computer, and for once, I could play more than just Minecraft, Unturned, and Roblox on PC. I still played Minecraft, yeah, but it was much less as I moved on to play other games like Rust, CSGO, and Rainbow Six Siege. I'd still hop on and play the game with friends whenever new major updates came out, but the updates really slowed down and they really weren't as big as before. After the Combat update which ruined combat but really expanded upon the end and added elytras. The updates would only be like a couple new blocks and a new mob or two, and that was really it, so when we'd hop on to play again, it was short-lived and we'd abandon it again within a couple weeks. Minecraft was at its lowest in terms of popularity at this time, and I was approaching adulthood. It felt like I was over the game completely at this point as I was preparing for college and life was moving on. In 2018, I'd graduate high school and now I was getting ready for my next chapter in life, college. While I was busy starting college, Minecraft began picking up again with the proper update for once, the aquatic update. And finally we got something more than just new blocks and filler mobs that don't really do much. But I was too busy with college at the time as it was my first year and I was still getting the hang of being more independent and being an adult now. I was having less and less time for just gaming and my friends were as well. So even though I wanted to play the new update, it just didn't look like it was possible. In reality though, I just really hated phantoms and that's why I didn't play it. Mob votes are awful, guys. I mean phantoms? Glow squids? Come on, guys. Massive L. LA is fine though. They're actually cool. But that's a whole other topic. 2019 comes in and right as I'm finishing my first year of college, I'd finally have time again for more than just school and the Village and Pillage update comes out. The boys are finally back and we're all having a blast playing the new update and PewDiePie started his new Minecraft series. It was like I was a kid again, watching Minecraft videos and playing the game practically every day. It kept up like this until the end of 2019 where I was then getting busier again, adult stuff, you know, having to have a job and school and just having a life, until COVID happens and then we're back to it again, baby. Nether update comes out and with everyone stuck at home and school online, I was able to have that moment extended just for a little longer. But even that had to come to an end. Restrictions would begin lifting, people would start going out more, and life had to continue moving on where I'd be back to being busy again. But this time, something felt different. Even with great updates coming out like Caves and Cliffs, that spark I used to have when playing the game wasn't really there anymore. It wasn't the game now lacking new content or just being stale, it just felt like the reasons why I played before have changed, but I didn't really know what specifically had changed. A new update, the Wild update, would come out, adding great new things like the ancient cities and the Warden, but the same thing would happen. A new world would be made and I'd play the new update, but there wasn't that spark, that drive to keep playing. It felt like I had already done all that I wanted to, as if I was forcing myself to play. I would end up quitting the world within a couple weeks, as would all my friends, and from there, I thought about what made it feel different this time after so many years of playing the game, and I looked back that the last time I truly was having fun with the game. My world from 2019. I spawned in, seeing that I was back at my new base, looking at the massive build that I was planning to do before I got busy again. You can even see here that I was planning to have the bedrock exposed, but now with the Caves and Cliffs update, this has changed. My friends and I decided sometime throughout playing on the world that we wanted to move from spawn to an area away from the desert. Here it is now, abandoned even before the world was. You can see my house here. Nothing crazy, just a big purple cube right in the middle of the village we surrounded with a wall because when the Village and Pillage update first came out, villagers attacked way too frequently. There's a million iron golems and villagers, all from my broken iron farm that I tore down. Here's the nether highway my friends and I built, where we even had the lyrics of revenge on the wall. My old friends' bases. Still incomplete from when we were first moving out from spawn. Walking around and looking back at it all, at this time capsule, made me finally realize what was different this time. It is everything. I was still doing the same things I did when I was younger, and that's just build and have fun. But now when I get on, it doesn't feel like the open world with infinite possibilities now. It feels as if there's a checklist of things I have to do in every playthrough, like a chore. It's the game now having so much change from what it was when I was younger. The textures are all different than the ones that were there when I was a kid, and even the music has changed, with C418 no longer making music for the game. But what really has changed is myself. I'm no longer able to have all of that time to just play video games all day. I have to think of my future, my career, my life. And it's obvious now that this world was the last time I felt like I was just still a kid with not all of the responsibilities I have now. I've changed. And with it, so has the game. And it makes me wonder, is this it? Have I outgrown Minecraft at this point? Has the game really become something different than what it was when I was a kid? Or am I just viewing the game as something different now? Is it time to move on in life and leave Minecraft as a memory? Nah, new Minecraft update.